Fox News alert now. President Biden and world leaders meeting right now at the G7 in Germany on issues like climate, health, and energy. The administration pledging $200 billion towards a global infrastructure plan aimed to counter China's multi-trillion-dollar Belt and Road Initiative. Will it do that? Here to react, Fox News contributor, former Secretary of State Mike Pompeo. Mr. Secretary, great to see you. But this is a good idea to counter what China's doing, helping struggling nations who might have some, natural resources that we might be able to use to give them some of their infrastructure. China goes in there, but they extort these countries. We wouldn't do that.
Yeah, Brian, you've got it exactly right. This thing that the Chinese call their Belt and Road Initiative, they go to a small country to give them some money and a loan. And then when the project goes bad, they use that loan as extortion to get the political outcome that they're looking for. It's not how America rolls. For 4 years, we pushed back against this. I've seen this idea they're going to put money towards it from the G7 that President Biden's at today. Brian, I'm almost certain if it comes from the Biden administration, it will be all about ESG. It'll be about diversity, equity, and inclusion. It'll be about climate change. It won't be about the hard power solutions that these countries are really looking for. They need a response to the Chinese Communist Party, not a woke green agenda that is tied to these dollars that these G7 countries are now proposing they'll provide. This is a serious threat from the Chinese Communist Party. They need resources and assistance. This probably isn't going to be it.
The other news to emerge, we're going to purchase a missile defense system for Kyiv from Norway. You like that move? And what else could we be doing to stop Russia's advancement?
Yeah, it's the right question. They're there at the G7 talking about climate change and health, and I think you said education. Should be talking about how to end this war in Ukraine. The horrors continue. Vladimir Putin continues to advance. He sent a very clear message about his respect for President Biden and our team by launching missiles into western Ukraine, into Kyiv yesterday, just as the G7 was kicking off. I think the missile system is great. We should be providing targeted capabilities, intelligence. Unmanned aerial systems could help a lot, help the Ukrainians target. Zelensky hasn't asked for our soldiers. He hasn't asked for the 82nd Airborne. He's just looking for the resources to allow him to win this war. The longer we lollygag, the more we hold back because we're afraid we're going to provoke Vladimir Putin. Brian, he's provoked. We should count that as good. The longer we hold back, the longer this goes on, the more Ukrainian lives that are lost, and the worse it'll be for us here at home in America. We can see the impact of this war in Europe, the instability there in places all across the country. We need to give them the tools they're asking for, train them to use them, and then allow them to do the work that needs to be done to deter Vladimir Putin, just as we had done for 4 years.
Mr. Secretary, the reason why Russia is able to continue to sell oil is because of India and China predominantly. Why not secondary sanctions on them, number one? And please answer this. Why are we allowing Turkey to keep Sweden and Finland out of NATO?
Yeah, we should end both of those. We should make clear to the Turks that these countries are going to join NATO. It's going to happen. We should acknowledge the concerns that they have as best we can, but we should make sure that moves forward. Second, we shouldn't tariff and prevent our friends from buying this oil and allow our adversaries to buy it, right? To tell our allies you can't buy Russian oil and let the Chinese buy oil is just nutty. It's bad policy. So your suggestion of secondary sanctions, most importantly, Brian, actually enforcing the existing sanctions, those are the things that will convince Vladimir Putin that this cost is too high. When you don't do that, he feels free to move about the cabin, and the risk to the United States and to Europe and to the people of Ukraine will continue.
Well, Mr. Secretary, thanks so much. Appreciate it. We'll continue to watch, monitor the news coming out of G7. Thanks. All right.
Yes, sir. Have a good day.
Yep.